I'm so excited about today, doing a little exploring and some freshwater fishing. So I'm going to start fishing one of the fingers of this lake here. Give that a try for maybe half an hour. And then just around the corner, a creek feeds into the lake. And where there's any creek, it always brings bait, it always brings oxygen to the lake. And there's a good chance that there's some fish there. All right, let's get started. Hopefully we can do a catch and cook out here. First, I'm going to bring down one of these sticks so I can make a rod holder. This is a dead, burnt manzanita tree, so it should be fine if I break this. Man, that stuff is tough. That's good burning wood. It burns really hot. But sometimes it's almost too dense because it crackles and pops. All right, that's my rod holder. I'm gonna start out with these worms. I got these large ones, so I'm just gonna cut one in half. Double the worm. I've got the worm threader today, so I'm gonna thread this worm straight through the threader. It's gonna go out the tail end. Just helps you get a nice presentation on your hook. Then I'll stick the hollow point of the worm threader onto the end of the hook and thread that worm right on. Look at that. I won't get the hook all the way out. I'll push it through the worm just so it's got something to grab onto. That's looking good right there. Now I've got two split shots I'm going to put onto the line about 1.5 feet above that worm. Now this creek is actually flowing right into the lake. Just over here. I thought it was a little farther, but it's right here, so this is a perfect spot. I'm going to cast down right here in the middle. I have been seeing a lot of grasshoppers jumping around, so when it gets a little warmer, I might try to catch some of those. Those have never failed me yet. Wow, it's deep there. I can't believe that. That is like 20 feet deep. All right, got my drag set pretty loose. There is a bigger creek feeding this lake, so I'm gonna give it about half an hour here. If I don't catch anything, I'll walk over to the other side. With my bait caster, I'm going with the wide gap hook, the Berkeley power bait. And I'm just putting it right through the worm. I know I'm going to get some O-rings. That'll save the life of the bait a lot longer, but this is what I got. I'm going straight 30-pound braid. I'll get a leader next time too. Let's cast out and see if there's anything straight out from this spot. Still sinking. Oh no, stopped. Probably about 20 feet deep. You guys can probably see that piece of trash in the water. There's another piece of trash down there. Some swishers. Such a nice place. Some drinks and some lures. Everybody going for bass. Some trout stuff. Bullet weights. Probably going for maybe trout or weedless bass. All right, let's get out of here. I'm almost to my spot, which is around that corner, the bigger creek, but passing this spot, I got my bass rod set up. Might as well do a couple casts here. Just a couple. Got one. Oh yeah. Oh, it came up out of nowhere. Nice fat one too. Holy cow. Yeah, nice. Oh man, that's a beast. Nice fish, man. That's a fatty, right? So that is largemouth, isn't it? No red eyes. That's a good 2-pounder, 1.5, 2-pounder. Nice fish. First cast. Sheesh, just cast it. I was reeling up so it wouldn't get into the rocks. I just let it pause for a second. He came out of nowhere. Bit it. Got him. Got him. So one thing that gets me more bites when I fish in my pond too is that I cast all the way across the pond let it hit the bank. Don't let the bass know that something splashed, and just bring it in real gentle. Just like this. I know people eat bass, but I heard that they're not that tasty, and people fish for them for tournaments, so I'd rather not take the population out of the lake. Fun to catch though. Give me a good trout, I'll eat that instead. I have noticed too that the bass seem to like these kind of dead, dull looking places for some reason. Maybe the water is warmer. Something about it. I've caught a good amount of bass in these back tail ends with no streams running to them. Oh, what is this? Another bass? Not as big. Oh, he's trying to fight hard. Man, this is like the nice. What is this? Heck yeah! Oh man, another one. Fat, but his mouth doesn't even look that big. So is it a largemouth? It sure looks like one. I know it's not a smallmouth. It's a largemouth, right? It's about 4 casts. Took my bait, so I'll just keep walking. Woo! Oh yeah, that's so fun. Right next to that tree, there's been a couple splashes, and that's totally within casting distance. So I'm going to retie, put a bobber on, cast right next to it. Another jump over there. Oh, they're all over here. I got this tackle box for $1, but before I cast out and change it to the bobber, I'm just going to try a little jig. And I've got Castmaster. I think I'm going to try the jig first with a swim bait. Man, they're jumping everywhere. And then I'm going to throw on the Castmaster. I'll try this McKinney's Baits motor colored. This is more of like a perch grub for saltwater. But if there's good sized trout here, I don't see why they wouldn't bite this. Just going to make sure you thread that hook as straight as you can through the bait. Get it out approximately there. How's that look? What the heck is on upside down again? How did I do that? What the hell? Okay, right there, just like that. Perfect. Let's see how that works. I'm just going to tie this 1/8 ounce jig head directly to the 4-pound test I've got on this spinning reel. All right, let's see. I never caught a trout on a jig before. If I do, this is going to be amazing. Did you see that fish jump? What is that? That sounds like a carp or something. There's no way that's a trout. No way. Just like when I go to the ocean, I'm going to be a little methodical. It's 11:10, so I'm going to fish this for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to switch to something else. Ooh. I'm going to stick to the plan. Got the small Castmaster on. Give that a try for a few casts. Come on. It's one time with the Castmaster. Gosh, what are these fish just jumping everywhere? Can't tell if it's a trout or what. Well, nothing with the Castmaster, so it's time to change to the bobber. I have so much faith in that. It's time to catch some fish. So if you never use one of these, this is just another brand. You fill it with water to get the weight you want. You pop this part out, you fill it with water. Let's go do that now. A little more than halfway. This will give us our casting distance. And when it's in the water, just push that pin back through the bottom. Now it's halfway filled with water. Let's see if it floats still. Yep, it floats. Thread the bobber stopper onto the main line. Pull the plastic out the bottom. Start slowly tightening the threads. That's your bobber stopper. We'll thread it all the way up the line. Then we'll tighten that one last time. And we'll still be able to move it. Nice tight knot, and it will be able to glide through the guides, no problem. And we'll cut it about, bam, right there. You can also cut this tag end of the bobber stopper a little bit longer, just in case it gets loose, then you can retighten it. And the most important part of this setup, this little bead below the bobber stopper. And that'll, of course, stop the bobber from going too far up. We'll thread our line through the bobber. Let's go up about, I don't know, 6 feet. It's a little bit windy, so to counter that, I'm going to use 2 decent sized split shots. That'll stop the bow in the line, and it'll pull everything below the bobber. There's one there. There. Tighten that up. Those split shots will also stop the bobber from going too far down. Let's do 7 wraps for good luck. And I'll give these fish whatever they are, something they can't refuse. Let's find a nice, full, large worm, which is definitely overkill, but how's the fish going to resist that? All right, here we go. Give that little bend. Just thread that worm all the way on. So we got an entire worm right there on a bobber. Let's go. So I don't know if you can see my bobber, but it's right in front of that tree. And the wind is pretty strong right now, so it's just as if we're drifting a really slow river. So I'm gonna do about 10 drifts here, and then I'll move in closer to where the creek is feeding the lake. But they're jumping, still jumping, and I got a good eye on one. It sure looked like a big trout to me, like a 5-pounder. This is drift number 4. No bites yet. Still hopeful though. I've seen a couple nice ones jump in that cove right over there. I wonder if I can make it over there. Looks like there's a road that goes down here. So here's the big creek I was talking about, and it flows into the lake. I guess this is still technically the lake, so I want to cast out here and see if a fish is hanging out in this current. All right, first cast I'm going to start with the bobber. I'm going to take this off after a few casts, but since I have it on already, I got it set to about 7 feet. So let's see. I'm getting tangled, it's not sinking. I want to get deeper. I can't tell how deep it is. So I'm going to take off the bobber and just use the worm and the weights. I'm going with half the worm this time, and I might regret this, but I'm going to use 2 weights, about 1.5 feet above the bait. Here we go. This is the one. We're about to catch a fish. I got one. Oh, it came off. I didn't even get to see what it was. Dang. I had a big fish on. Man, that was a nice one. I know you didn't see it. It was right over there. He bit the worm. He didn't stick though. Let's give that one more try. That's promising. That was a big fish too. Now the question is, was that a bass or a trout or what? Kind of felt, I don't know what that was honestly. But it's deep here, and I let it sink for a good 15 to 20 feet. Oh, there it is again. Got him again. What is it now? I want to bring it up at least so I can see it. Oh, that's a bass. Dang, it's just a bass. Big old bass though. 4-pound test. Wow, that's a nice largemouth. Dang. If there's bass here, it's not going to be any trout. I don't think. Man, that one's big. Big bass. Come here. That's PB bass right there. I never caught a largemouth bass this big. There goes my hopes for trout in this spot, but man, that's a nice fish. That's like a 2.5 pounder. We're getting bigger. PB bass. Beautiful fish. Happy with that. Let him go. Big old stomach on him. Whew. 90% sure the other one was a bass too. I still got my bait. I'm gonna cast out in the same spot. If that's a big bass, chances are so slim that there's gonna be nice trout here. I mean, if I hooked the trout, the bass would try to eat it. And if there's trout hanging out, the bass will try to eat it too. So I don't think the trout are hanging out at this spot in this lake. They're probably hanging out and cruising around shore in the shallows. That's what I'm thinking. So if I can find a way to cross this creek, I'll go over to the spot where I saw him jumping. Oh man, this bass right here. Watch, I'm gonna get him again. He's just hanging out here. Watch this. Just for fun. Just for fun. He's hanging out right here, swimming around in this cove. Let's see if he's gonna bite again. Come on. He's just swimming around looking for food. There he is. There he is, got him. I got him again. Oh, that's a, what is that? Squawfish or something? Man, I'm catching all the species that I don't want. Look at this thing. Man, I'm gonna net it just because. Man, I remember hearing stories that people caught sturgeon with 4-pound tests. Man, that's hard to believe. Oh, taking good run. Jeez, dang. 4-pound test guy over here. Squawfish, or pretty sure that's what it's called. Oh man, he's a fighter. But I set the hook on him, so he's not getting away. A good fight for this kind of fish. It's fun, but I mean, I can't eat him. I don't think people eat these. Get over here. Get over here. Get up here. Get up here. Come on. Man, his body's rubbing against my line. I don't like that. Might break my line. I feel like this is what was jumping too. It was kind of a reddish brown color. That's exactly what this is. All right, let's take a look at him up close. Get in the net, baby. Man, don't want this. It's PBs of fish I don't want today. Wow, I think it's huge. Look at that sucker on his mouth. That was a weird looking fish. Good hook set though. Felt the nibble and then bam, set it on him. So what would you do with this? Invasive? I know some people would probably just keep this out of the water so they don't hurt the trout population. I don't know too much about it, or else I might do that. I even might try to eat it one day. But all this slime coming up, I'm just gonna let him go. Look at his soft lips. Don't know what they eat. Egg? Who knows what they eat? Funny looking fish. I'll let him go. Let me know, what would you do if you got something like this? Would you kill it? We'll let him go. Lucky little guy. See you later. Well, that's even more reason that there's probably not trout here. I've heard that those kill the trout population just as bad as bass. And we got both bass and whatever that thing is, squawfish. All right, we'll keep at it and see if we can get another one in this same spot. All right, seems pretty easy. 2 cats in a row. If you want bass, I guess this is the spot to go and practice fishing for them. Just let this bait sink down real slow. Let it sink, and then you'll feel a bite. Just reel down to it, set the hook. It's good practice for rock fishing, actually. No weight either. Just a couple jigs, make that worm look like it's moving. Real subtle jigs too, nothing crazy big, just the slightest jig. Bass will get it in his mouth and bam, fish on. Got one. Nice bass. Another nice bass. These are so fun to catch. Oh man, I don't really have to worry about this one breaking off because I got braid on here. But man, look at that. Such a nice fish. That's even bigger. Or unless that's the same one. That was a nice looking fish though. And that's almost a 3-pounder. 2 3/4. So we're getting even bigger now. Oh yeah, at least 15 inches. All right, see you later. Now tell me what kind of plant this is, because I've seen this around multiple times. Is that what I think it is? It's not, right? Is it just hemp? Or is it just something completely different? Just looks very suspicious to me. Well, this might answer my question. This tree looks exactly like that plant, except bigger. So whatever this tree is, that's probably what it is. I think this is where I was this morning. Pretty sure. That's not where I was. Was it? Oh, it didn't look like that, did it? Maybe it did, I don't know. I don't remember. All right, this is where I came from. I recognize this now. Look, poppies are blooming. Whew. If you want to take your boat out to this lake, which is New Maloney's, you need to get your motor locked up for 30 days, just so they know that you're not taking your boat to another lake. There's this invasive razor mussel species that has not affected this lake yet. So in order to put your boat in here, you can only go in this lake with your boat. So I'm going to get my boat locked up, the Whaley, so I'll use that as the dedicated New Maloney's boat. I'm going to go for some kokanee because that should be heating up soon. And I'll have a better opportunity to fish more spots for bass, trout, crappie, anything else that I want to. So that's going to be fun. And just in case you were interested, these straw hats are going to be available once again after like 2 years of not being available at the street fair for the first time, which is going to be July 12th this year in Stonestown, 10 to 5, same as the years before. Yeah, I hope to see you guys there. Street fair, Fisherman's Life. All right, well, I'm gonna head over to Nevada in a couple days, so hopefully we get some big trout at Pyramid Lake.